Last year, she appeared on Carlos King's podcast and basically admitted to the world that her husband, Ralph Pittman, didn't really want to be in a committed monogamous relationship with her anymore. He needed to clap more cheeks, and she's now on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, or has been on that franchise for years.
Okay.
And basically, he didn't want to admit that he was sleeping with other women.
Okay.
So this is a problem. You had a kid by somebody in 2011 or 2012. You've given him 2 more other kids, and he wants to have an open relationship because for whatever reason, he feels that you are not woman enough for him.
Y'all cannot get me to hate Michael B. Jordan. I love this brother's story, seeing the successes that he's recently been acknowledged for, but thinking back to who was Michael B. Jordan before all of the success. And I like to think of it as the typical Black American boy story. Slightly odd interest, all right? Went to a decent school, speaks very well, was a theater kid, and also has a slightly suspicious, extremely famous name already, okay? That he was picked on for. We've seen clips of him walking the red carpet, taking a success dump on young ladies that knew him back in high school, that they made fun of him for his name back then, and now they're on the red carpet fishing for an interview from him. We've seen him date young ladies such as Lori Harvey, and within that, of the women that he's been dating, we've seen kind of this ascension throughout time. Well, what if I told you guys that one of the lovely young ladies that was in his past is currently on these podcast streets fishing for his attention even today? Shout out to my bro O'Shea Duke Jackson for this one. Let's get active. Without further ado.
Would you circle the block with anyone?
Ooh. There is one, if, you know,
Oh, really?
they called, I would answer.
Really?
In the early 2000s, the music industry was
Hold up, son. Y'all not just gonna just... Wait a minute. Yo, O'Shea's editing team is crazy as hell. You just not gonna sneak this in. You understand me? Let's take a formal assessment of the early 2000s room. Looks like there's an iMac here. That's accurate. The thing is that the iMac itself, it was the screen and the CPU inside of it. So I'm like, why do they have another CPU here? And it looks like there's another CPU down here. But regardless, though, the lava lamp, to me at least, is not accurate. In New York, we wasn't doing lava lamps, at least in the early 2000s. Let me see. We got Apple. We got Eminem. Is that the reason? No, that's the Black album from Jay-Z. Look like he has the Black album down here. Is that Eminem down there as well? Okay, everything else looks structurally accurate, but why they put his damn hand? Yo, his editing team ain't shit. All right. Let's keep going.
In the early 2000s, the music industry was being completely destroyed by illegal file sharing networks like
it was.
Napster and Cashapp. But there would be somebody who would.
Yo, who remembers Cashapp back in the day? Cashapp was one of them, like this is before the internet has been like regulated. You go up on Cashapp and try to legitimately get a piece of music, and all of a sudden your download ends, and either you have a virus or you just watch someone die. It was one of those places. I guess Twitter's kind of like that now. Anyway, let's keep going.
Fix this. And that person would be Steve Jobs.
Okay.
On April 28th, 2003, Steve Jobs introduced the iTunes Music Store.
Changed the game.
He convinced major record labels to allow Apple to sell individual songs for 99 cents.
Yeah.
It was a massive gamble that paid off instantly. Apple sold 1 million songs in the first 5 days. This move revolutionized how music was consumed globally, and it proved that consumers would pay for digital content.
Yes.
So what happened to...
if you think about it, that actually changed the game. This might be one of the first forms of widespread digital content that was easily accessible to us via the internet. I mean, you just had it in small pockets, but their sales at the time blew their stock up. I think he's about to talk about that.
At that time. On that same day, Apple stock closed at exactly $14.22 per share. That's the unadjusted
took it to the moon.
Trading price.
Yeah.
That was just in 2003. By 2008, the original iPhone had been out for nearly a year and was actively disrupting the mobile industry. So from 2003 to 2008, it's only 5 years. How much did the stock go up to? It was $172.25 per share.
Like
Now,
over
guys,
1,000%.
stocks do split in many different ways because companies do it.
Yeah.
But let me just be honest with you. If you invested $14.22 a share in 2003, in 2008, your value of investment was $344.50.
2000.
That means you would have had a 2,322% total return, meaning that yesterday's price in 2003
today's price.
was not the price in 2008. Got it?
He's right, you know.
Yeah.
In the mid-
And a thing, the other technology that blew their stock up, which was a hardware complement to the iTunes store, was the iPod. He didn't mention that there, but that had a lot to do with them blowing up as well. And then also a lot of people also beginning to re-respect Apple as a hardware as well as a software provider. But if you invested prior to 2002, you became absolutely rich. My guess is that there's a dichotomy here of the investment into a stock without knowing where it was going to go, and the same thing of your investment into a man without knowing how successful he is going to be. Let's proceed.
2000s, Michael B. Jordan was an up-and-coming actor, and he had a girlfriend for a few years,
Okay.
way before his relationship.
She looks older.
with Lori Harvey, and her name was Drew Sidora.
Cool.
Now, Drew Sidora is an actress/singer,
Oh.
and at the time, her and Michael B. Jordan were dating.
Damn.
She had no kids. She was 2 years older than
Oh,
him, but they
life
had no
hit.
kids, and they had a loving relationship, although it was kind of under wraps. By 2011,
Yeah.
she would become a single mother.
Damn.
And Michael B. Jordan was coming up the ranks in Hollywood. By 2014, she would marry a guy by the name of Ralph Pittman, a businessman, and they would have 2 more other kids.
Damn. So 3 kids
So that's 3 kids by 2018.
by 2 men.
And Michael B. Jordan was still on his way to becoming an A-list actor.
Yeah. He was far away though.
Recently, Drew Sidora happened to be on a podcast, and she was asked a very interesting question.
I get it. Never have I ever dated an A-list celeb.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I guess like you've kept it pretty private.
Yeah.
I don't know that you've told us. No.
Because, I got married.
Now, she's being asked,
The reason why I'm cringing like that is that I find it so interesting that they say yes, but then they're super giddy about it, as if it's like a badge of honor to date someone that, even if they wasn't an A-list celebrity at the time, but someone that eventually became an A-list celebrity. If your claim to fame or what gratifies you is a man that has previously been inside you because he is now super duper famous, perhaps your priorities are a bit off.
have you ever dated a A-list actor before? She says yes, and it's pretty private, and she kept it private because at the time she was married and didn't want to disrespect her husband by talking about the relationship. But let's talk about her marriage.
Okay.
How did it turn out?
Again, I have been met with him wanting an open relationship, him wanting to have other women. He's not still been honest. I was waiting when Portia and Shamia asked, have you ever cheated on Drew? I was waiting for him to be honest. And he got choked up. And he just threw out no.
Last year, she appeared on Carlos King's podcast and basically admitted to the world that her husband, Ralph Pittman, didn't really want to be in a committed monogamous relationship with her anymore. He needed to clap more cheeks, and she's now on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, or has been on that franchise for years.
Okay.
And basically, he didn't want to admit that he was sleeping with other women.
Okay.
So this is a problem. You had a
Sure.
kid by somebody in 2011 or 2012. You've given him 2 more other kids, and he wants to have an open relationship because for whatever reason, he feels that you are not woman enough for him. Then she would say this.
Would you circle the block with anyone?
Ooh. There is one, if, they called, I would answer.
He not calling.
So is there anybody that she would date? She says yes. There is another person I would date if they called. Now that's crazy. If they called, no offense to Sidora, but you have 3 kids by 2 different men. You're about to be divorced.
You're on Housewives of Atlanta.
Michael B. Jordan has no kids, and you expect that if he would call, you would answer.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But here's the most important part.
Okay.
You are both actors.
Yeah.
He's very handsome. He
Yeah.
is a family man. You have kids. He'd be great as a stepdad.
Wow.
Oh my God. Just because a man is a family man doesn't mean that he wants to own your already pre-made family. Yo, the delusion. That ship has done sailed away about 3 kids and 2 baby fathers ago. Let it go.
Whoa.
The lady that's interviewing her is saying, wow, you know, Michael B. Jordan is handsome. He's a family man. He would be a great stepdad.
Hell no.
I thought it was pretty interesting because when she broke up with Michael B. Jordan, she probably had no clue the kind of man that he
son.
would be.
Yo, this is so crazy. You know, all my young G's out there, just understand as you create yourself into being the man that you want to be within your purpose, within your life, just understand once you get there, yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. They hit you up with that, hey, stranger, that, hey, big head text. Listen, if you was moving correctly over the past several years, address it accordingly. If you done moved up in the ranks of the world, you might be the one that they smile about when they think about the previous men that have gone deep inside of them, all right? And listen, at the end of the day, I'm not mad if you dust a couple of them off, have some fun, but please wrap it up and don't get trapped. But the term stepdaddy shall never apply to a man of my damn value. It might hurt their feelings, and to all the young MTRs that are utilizing their womb willy-nilly with raw daddy, just understand that, you know, the market price will drop once that womb gets used, and especially if it gets used 2 or 3x. Let's keep going.
That he would be. But the problem is, Sidora, just like the Apple stocks in 2003 to 2008, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Come on,
baby. Why is that?
When a man fails, he can rebuild. Lost money, rebuild. Failed relationship, rebuild. Lost job, rebuild. Heartbreak, rebuild. Rough season, rebuild.
Men have the ability to rebuild. And we've seen it with Michael B. Jordan. When he was pretty much left in the dumpster by Lori Harvey, he did exactly what this lady is saying. He rebuilt. By the time he got to Lori Harvey.
It's not even rebuilt. This man built further, all right? Done accomplished things that not many of his ilk and talent and success and visibility have been able to accomplish. So it's not even that he rebuilt, it's that he built further. Stories like this is why I love anime such as like a Dragon Ball Z, because the whole premise of a Dragon Ball Z is about exceeding your limits, going through what you thought not possible, and then finding a new tier or a new form, all right, that then can defeat thy enemy. He got the best form of revenge against a Lori Harvey and all these other chicks that were calling him corny way back in the day, which was his success.
Harvey, he was already A-list in. The price was already too high for her in 2020. Then he went through that situation, rebuilt himself, and now his value is even that much more after winning the Oscars. But then there's more.
Men have the ability to start over through discipline. Women, on the other hand, often carry emotional wounds, trauma, resentment, distrust, masculine walls, heartbreak, comparison from old partners, and bitterness. Instead of healing, many women jump into new situations carrying the old pain.
Men rebuild through discipline, while women tend to carry pain and resentment. In other words, when you're rebuilding through discipline, that means you're willing to give the world what they want in order for you to get further. While on the other hand, women's pain is about what can you give me? And I'm hurt, and this is how I feel. And I need to look out for myself while as Michael B. Jordan is always looking at what can I give the world so I can get more back and gain more leverage. That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree sort of. And the reason for that is that pain, resentment, and anger can be held by both sexes. All right. I've talked about previously about, my time in Thailand and having to practice the spirit of forgiveness because I was holding and harboring onto feelings and our emotions in regards to situations and our people that was actually deeply impacting me and actually impacting my progress forward. I even think from a content perspective, now that I've kind of let these little things go, I am much more forms fit for trying new things in the future that I never thought that I would be good at or that I could do. Okay. And I actually just responded to a little man that is making up lies on me on these internet streets. And my argument for him is he holds on to this pain and he's suffering through this hate of himself, which then creates this place of delusion where he can just readily make up shit and also talk ill of things such as my cancer. Okay. If you do not let go of that pain, you'll find yourself doing odd things and also subconsciously focusing on that resentment, which takes you away from building the value to push through your limits and or your barriers. Okay. How did Goku become Ultra Instinct? He had to just let it flow, baby. He had to stop thinking about it. He had to let the weight go. And all of a sudden, my man moving through, I'm saying, against Jiren, you heard? I love anime. All right, let's keep going.
Look at Michael B. Jordan in Drew Sidora and him calling her, well, she is very good looking, no doubt about it, but there is no real reason to call her. I mean, she's had her heart broke by her husband. She has 3 children. She has...
I'm sorry, are those her nails? What is this on the... What in the Freddy Krueger?
I mean, she's had her heart broke by her husband. She has 3 children. Okay. She has other priorities. And to be honest, she's just too expensive to deal with. And it's not because she's unattractive or not successful.
It's the trauma, it's
He's
the
just
baggage.
Too successful. He has too much ammunition. He's just too disciplined to let his life go into a situation like that, which doesn't serve him in my Lori Harvey voice. And I think if you're a woman and you're listening to stuff like this,
R.I.P.
I think it's really good. I mean, I'm nowhere near the level of Kevin Samuels, but we get to understand what life is about. Life is about leverage. And women understand leverage in terms of beauty, but they don't understand leverage as it's undergirded in financial or economic or industrial or marketplace leverage.
And
that's
they're less
different.
Yeah.
You see, when you see a guy in 2006 or 2007 and he was nothing, but in 2017 he's somebody, and you honestly believe, well, he liked me then, so he must like me now.
Yeah.
You're misappropriating your leverage because you don't know what that man has seen in the last decade or the last 5 years, because his discipline has allowed him to see parts of life that you cannot see because your discipline is not like his. And so when you're thinking that he should come back and work hard and then give you a call to come back to you, I mean, it's hopeful that he would, but you don't have any leverage. There's nothing that you can do now to make his life better. And frankly, he's seen better and has left them. So there's no way he's coming back to you unless you can offer something that nobody else can't, which you probably don't believe that you should. That's why he will never call.
Yeah.
And when women understand leverage in terms of how masculine men coordinate and engineer leverage and how we look at it,
it's true.
Then maybe I think that this idea of men and women, or especially in the black community, black men and black women, the relationship would work better. But up until then, I think that we're gonna have a fundamental issue here, because life is about leverage for men who have played out the longer game, and for women who have not delivered that level of leverage to the market or to the economy in the same way. And this is not for every guy, I understand, but this is for a guy that she wants, right? And that's important. And unfortunately for her, she's not gonna get the call that she believes that she deserves. And it's unfortunate. But guys, what do you think?
Yeah,
It's your boy.
shout out to O'Shea. I bang with the last couple of comments right there. And I think this idea of leverage, I think this life is about way more than just leverage. It's also about community, relationships. But nevertheless, I understand the point. And I think that masculine men, they undergird their thoughts within logic, Well, what undergirds logic is mathematics. Okay, so when you talk about the price of yesterday is not the price of today, but then you also complement that thought within the idea that, a lot of more emotional women that are walking around and conduct themselves as such, much more coddling of their feelings, right? Like, a woman that is, has 3 kids, 2 different baby fathers, she ain't gonna hear from other women that, hey, listen, from a dating place market perspective, right? Like, you done downgraded from, potentially a Ferrari over here in your 20s, and now you driving around looking like a beat down, Ford Pinto, right? They don't hear that, right? Until like sectors like this of the internet have popped up, and we kind of can talk about these things a little bit more freely, okay? Much more women, right? Like, what's crazy about women? I be walking with someone like my homegirls from time to time, and then they'll just call out to other women, "You're so beautiful." Guys don't do that to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not walking around blowing each other's heads up like that. You know what I mean? It's just not what we do. And it's just, it's not what we leverage as men. Nevertheless, if you hear too much of that without an adjustment towards where you're at in reality, then you'll get a Kevin Samuels live stream where these women are coming up here, obviously average at best, but conducting themselves as if they have a lot of leverage, right? Or they're at the top peak of the dating marketplace, or that they are Apple in 2008 versus Apple in 1999, okay? Anyway, shout out again to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Guys, I will leave a link down to this original video down up in the description box. Make sure you go over to O'Shea and tell him that MTR sent you. But guys, what is it that you think about the content that we have gone through here today? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your comments, thoughts, opinions, and perspectives down up in the comment box. Last but not least, guys, I have a link down up in there to viraltovalue.com. It is my new curriculum that teaches you how to do what it is that I do, how to be a commentary content creator. If interested, click the link down up in there, beam up to see all the wonderful things in store, and I'll see you soon. Until next time, peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.